Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another Idle Angels video. Today is Friday, so we are going to be covering up all the weekly events that we have currently. Now, we do not have any new releases this week. No new angel, no new incarnation powers, no new engravings. But what I did find interesting is that last week we did have the option to get UR and UR plus chests from summoning, and this week it is not existent on the pool of options as rewards. So with that in mind, I do want to say that I do believe we will have the UR and UR plus chest appear once a month. So it will be very hard for you to calculate when specifically the angel that you really need or want to build will come up in also with the timing of the UR and UR plus chest. But again, we will need to wait at least till the end of month of August to see how those events will repeat. But this one does look like it is with Destiny Star pieces and resonance crystals. So in some way, I believe that they are trying to rotate other small consumables that we need depending on the week. So in a way, you can gather all different kinds of loot and summon whenever you need those small items. But again, in my opinion, they shouldn't be the priority decision of should you summon now or not. The priority should be Incarnation, Reborn, and the angel that you want to summon. So since I started with the Gift of the Stars, I will finish the event. Basically, we are going to be logging in, claiming our rewards with the boss challenge scrolls. If you are spending money, you will be getting additional rewards on the daily top-up and top-up rewards. Luck rebates, additional rewards for summoning. Redeem items. In my opinion, the best value is those 3 blues, and you can claim them 5 times. After which, if you need the tier 3 or tier 4 chest, that is a good option to claim. In my opinion, the best option is always the blue scrolls, because with time eventually you will get enough tier 3, tier 4, tier 5 chests either from idling or in other ways. So to me, the best value always is if you can grab blue scrolls to grab them. Lastly, you have the Zodiac Trials. Here you will have 5 different stages, no, 7 stages of 5 different bosses that you need to beat in order to claim nice amount of blue scrolls, amulets, relic summon scrolls, normal summon scrolls, and the legendary summon scrolls. And after you beat those 7 stages separately for each boss, you will unlock the God's Trial, which will be awarding you diamonds every single time you beat it. For the newer players, you won't be able to probably finish all of this. I would say the most important one is the blue scrolls and the red scrolls. So keep in mind that once you are able to 100% a boss, that's good for you. But at the moment that you start dealing like 15%, 20% damage to the bosses, make sure that you clear this level. And if you start doing like 2 or 3%, it's not really worth to use your boss challenge scrolls. So that's the moment you will be jumping onto the other 3 gates. With that being said, we are going to be moving into the Cosmic Tree. Cosmic Tree is a pay-to-win event in which primarily people choose the MR chest, and in order to participate as a free-to-play player, you will reach level 3, after which you definitely will need to spend money in order to reach the MR chest. And if you are patient enough to go for the 7th day, on the 7th day you only need to buy the pack for 100 and the pack for 170, if I'm not mistaken, in order to reach the MR chest. Then we got the Wish Pool. On Wish Pool we have Sagittarius, Aries, Frigga, and Ember Dragon. Shortly, Sagittarius uses basic attacks, something similar to Leo that we got last week, but she is way worse compared to Leo in my opinion, and it's definitely not worth of a summon. Ares is a nice support that could be very helpful for PvE and for PvP. For PvE, the useful stuff is that she can totally negate the damage of the boss for a round, while for PvP, she is just annoying by lowering the incoming damage by miles. So in a way, she is very good to mitigate the damage incoming for your team and allow you to survive. Frigga is a nice crowd control unit to be built, but this one you will really wonder about if you are already fully maxed out to beat the PvE stages and you are looking forward into beating Havoc and PvP. So in my opinion, Frigga is something that you really shouldn't consider at all for your account, especially if you are free to play, because by the time that you have the opportunity to go for Frigga, it will be way too late. I do believe a lot of other angels will be available. Ember Dragon is something, in my opinion, that is a must right now for PvE, and you don't really need the UR plus or MR stages. All you care about is the Incarnation power, and in my opinion, Incarnation power 5 is what you should be aiming for, and Incarnation level 3 should be the minimum stage that you are looking forward to get. Why is she so good? She's buffing holy damage, and for PvE your goal is to have as much holy damage as possible, because that's how you actually deal damage to the bosses. The other way around without Ember is to have Cupid with Incarnation level 4 and her engraving, but in my opinion Ember Dragon is way better than Cupid, and also we don't have a engraving for Ember yet, so eventually when we get it, it might be good enough to actually boost her even further. Here it's good to mention that we are on a wish pool, so be very careful if you are summoning for any of those 4 angels, because the rebates are a bit worse compared to the Incarnation Reborn. So in my opinion, it's better to wait for the Incarnation Reborn if you are not a spender, and if you are spending money, again, it's better to wait. But if you really want to get something this week, then it's fine to go for the Ember Dragon in the wish pool. For the Incarnation Reborn, we have Aquarius, Lucifer, Artemis, Capricorn, Venus, and Aries. Sorry. So I'm going to start with Aquarius, one of the best DPSs into the game, definitely into the top 3 leaderboard. She is amazing in PvE and PvP, but you will be kind of having the trouble her surviving early on. What I mean by that is she is kind of squishy early on, even though that she has a self-death evasion. So if you are having to face something like Nemesis, early on you will be losing as Aquarius, but once you start building supports, you definitely have the chance to take down a Nemesis player. Again, really good DPS. I do highly suggest, if you are looking for a overall good PvP, PvE and Havoc angel, feel free to go for Aquarius. Lucifer is an amazingly good DPS for PvE, the main dungeon. For Nightmare and for 6v6 battles for PvP, she is doing very bad. So overall, Lucifer is probably one of the best angels for the main dungeon, in my opinion, but she is lacking a lot of potential for PvP and for 6v6 battles, which is kind of the Havoc. So with that being said, I don't highly suggest going for Lucifer. I am using her, I do enjoy her and think she is strong, but it's just easier to play around other DPSs compared to her. Artemis is a support that is actually semi DPS, so her Incarnation power is related to doing damage and her MR is related to providing buffs and actually clearing the annoying passives that can kill you out. MR5 is going to help you out with the curses in PvE, which is the main dungeon, but it's definitely not a must to have or must own. So Artemis is kind of the MR based angel that you can definitely skip, and you are not really going to be considered or feeling bad that you don't have her for your lineup. At least that's my opinion for now. Capricorn is a support which has the best usage for HP based angels. Her goal is to have MR5. Why? Because that will provide 100% max HP increase for all of the allies, and Incarnation level 5 will allow her to do that increase of the HP from the sub line. So if you are fully going for an HP based team, MR5 Incarnation level 5 will be a must for Capricorn in order to put on your team. Of course, she's useful before that as well, but definitely want to look to max her out. Keep in mind she is SSR plus, so the UR and UR plus stages are better to be summoned during the weekend sale event, because there you get additional 2 shards for every 10 summons. Now we have the Venus. With Venus, it is good to use her at Incarnation level 2 and UR plus as a support. But again, it is definitely not a must to have. She buffs the crit damage of your team. It is just a personal choice if you really want to go with her because you like her style and you want to have her useful for your team, as well as you like the looks. There is a chance to use her for PvE, UR plus and Incarnation level 5, but in my opinion it's a total skip because other supports are cheaper or with the same amount of blues and provide more utility. RS is something that I haven't really explored myself, but as far as I understood from the players that have built her, she is a semi DPS, semi support in a way, so she is definitely good for a secondary DPS to have on the lineup when it comes to PvP or PvE. But the main thing is that she is not solo going to carry your entire team. Again, I might be wrong, but I haven't truly fully looked up at RS. So if somebody wants to drop down a comment giving me some more insights about this angel, that will be very appreciated. Luck rebates, make sure to collect all the blue scrolls. The summon pack, 5 blues for €1 is the best deal you will be getting. Blue scrolls is something you always want to grab from the shops, and training speed with divinity pack is some free rewards. Of course, the most important one is the quick combat 3 scroll. So this was Wishpool, this was Incarnation Reborn. Havoc is still ongoing, so do your best to reach as much as possible. I'm still trying to see if I reach Endless, if I will be able to get the UR Angel selection box. So hopefully after 18 days, I will know if it is possible to grab the box as a person who reaches the Endless mode and cannot pay for any of the additional rewards. Another thing that we have is Fairshowdown. I do have a video explaining Fairshowdown, showing different lineups and etc., which I will make sure to drop a link for it into the comments. But very quickly, how it works and what the idea is. It's called Fairshowdown because once you register, you will be having the opportunity to claim all the angels on a max level. What I am looking for usually is crowd control and 6 angels that can activate stuff from subs. So as a DPS, I do look for Aquarius and Nemesis primarily. For crowd control, I look for Thor, Pandora, and Frost Dragon. For supports on the backup line, I always look for something like Jean, Horus, Azura, Capricorn. So now I'm going to grab Aquarius. Sadly, we get the Nemesis after, so I would have to get the Nemesis. And now I do see Azura, but I will be refreshing and skipping her because I am not having the opportunity to use a backup line angel, mainly because the first 6 fights are going to be 6v6 and not 12v12. That's why we are skipping everything. I do like Merlin in order to counter out a Pandora, and we did get the Pandora as well. So something like for a lineup, it will be the Nemesis, Aquarius, so something like this is what I usually put. And instead of Aquarius, I would have a Frost Dragon. So I will do my lineup like this with, instead of Aquarius, a Frost Dragon. But currently, since I don't have it, I will probably do something like this. And on the Wonder set for the Pandora, I put the speed always, because this allows me to have Pandora always act first, and her acting first will actually crowd control all of the enemies, which should provide me the upper hand into beating them before they can do anything. Now, since it's still on the main lineup, I will be using some diamonds in order to refresh, and you have 4 attempts to refresh, after which it is gone. And sadly, I didn't get any of the angels that I really like or want, but that is still fine because I have the Pandora and the Nemesis, which will carry it out. Now I am going to start grabbing the sub angels from here on, because of course this is something that I need to think of. We got the Frost Dragon. With the Frost Dragon, I'm going to move her in and then remove Aquarius, keep this one, and the main angel you can either keep or move out. Right now I'm going to move it out for Sim. I forgot that I called up Sim earlier. No subline angels over here. Again, no subline angels, so we're going to refresh. And now I did get Uriel. Sadly, I don't like Uriel that much, but it is what it is. It's better than nothing. And lastly, we hope for Jean over here. We got her, perfect. And maybe the other option will be Aiden, because Aiden will provide more speed. The main reason is grabbing all the angels with sublime effects, because they are not going to be able to probably go into the fight, and also you are getting overly buffed. Like, you are now having 6 angels on the main lineup with 6 other angels that are buffing your main lineup. We're going to start fighting faster and faster, and we need only 1 more angel for the sub lineup. If you want, you can stop spending the diamonds at the moment that you reach a semi-good build, but I just really want to grab. Hela is a good opportunity actually to grab, but I really want all of the sub angels to have the bonus effects. And the last one that I'm missing right now for my lineup is Horus, which sadly I am not seeing. And if I face something that is incredibly strong, I will be very sad, because I will lose and Horus might be the difference. But this is kind of the last fight, and let's put Azura instead of the Aquarius. Sometimes I remove the main angel for a second DPS, and I put that second DPS around 6 or 8 slot in order to have it act as a potential backup if something happens to the main DPS. But since we are using Nemesis, Nemesis will not die until all of the angels die, and this is how I do my Fairshowdown fights. Wishing Well is a fast event. You do the challenges to claim the wishing stones, and my suggestion is once you get around 100 wishing stones, you can start spending them to get to choose rewards. Best option for early player account is SSR plus angels or T4 tier 5 magic stone chest. And for later accounts, it is definitely this one over here, because you can upgrade the MR skins. Popular event, nothing really interesting over here. Limited summon, it's just a free blue scroll every single day. And the Star House, you definitely don't touch. It's an event that it's not worth summoning for. Lucky Valley, always buy the first row. The Lucky Gate is something that is a few challenges in order to get lucky coins. And the expenditure of the lucky coins is as follows. Once you reach 550, not 400, not 450, 550 keys, that's when you start using them. You collect your 20 blue scrolls, and then you forget about this event until you get your 550 coins again. If you are level 110, you should be able to go for the Secret Abyss on the daily, claim your weekly rewards, and then pop up to finish your dungeons in order to grab more rewards. You have 3 days to do that. And lastly, I'd like to mention something that for the skins, if you are wondering, the Hela skin will be on a discount for the next 20 days. So until 20th of August, you still have time to collect this skin if you pay. Now, I definitely don't support buying those AI skins or 3D skins that look terrible. But the main reason why I say that this one, in my opinion, it's good to buy is because it was created by an artist, and it's kind of in a way showing that we support the artists and we appreciate that if they hire artists to do the skins, it is way better than using the AI. But again, this is just my thoughts behind paying for the skins. With that being said, I would like to thank you all for watching and for showing your support, subscribing, liking, and commenting. You have been amazing. If you have any questions, do not hesitate to put them down in the comments, and I'll hopefully see you on the next video.